Now, in our lesson that we're going to talk about today, we're going to convert metric units. In 2.7, you're going to be able to convert between metric units. To change from one metric unit to another, you either multiply or divide. When changing from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you divide. When changing from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you multiply. The phrase that I have on the board is King Henry died unfortunately drinking chocolate milk. If there's another phrase that helps you to remember the order of the metric unit, please remember that one. But on each problem that you have or each question that you have, you need to be sure and write those letters down on each one. So let's start in the middle with the U. U stands for unit. What are our units of measurement for the metric unit? We had discussed them yesterday. Give me one of them, class, just out loud.
Meters.
Meters is one. Give me another.
Kilometers.
No, we did meters, which is length. What is our capacity? What do we use for capacity?
Liters.
Liters. So I have length, I have capacity. What's our other?
Grams.
Grams, which has to do with mass. So the U stands for the unit of measurement, what the one is. So you'll notice K. Who knows what the K for the prefix of K is, dealing with metric units? Kilo, good. And at the very end, the smallest is M. What is its prefix, class? Milli, like millimeter, milligram. And so everything in between that is based on a power of 10. So if U is our units, that's 1. The D is the tenths place, hundredths place, and thousandths place as we go to the right. So in each page, I'm going to ask you to, you're going to make sure that you have those letters, the K, H, D, U, D, C, M. That is going to help you to convert from one measurement to the next. So for example, in A, we're going from 15 grams. How many grams, how many centigrams is in 15 grams? So if you'll notice, here is grams, it's our unit. We need to go from grams to centigrams. How many places are we going to be moving, class? 2 to the
Right.
So I'm going to have my decimal here. I'm going to move 2 to the right. So 15 grams is the same as 1,500 centigrams. Next, number 2, we're going from milliliters to liters. If I look at the milliliters to liters, which way is my decimal going to go, class?
To on the right.
Oh, I did it to the
Back
D.
to the left.
I'm going from here to here. How many places? In which direction?
3 to the left.
3 to the left. So here I am here. 1, 2, 3. Remember to put a placeholder in the 1 spot. So you should be having 59 hundredths is equal to 590 milliliters. Let's do the next. We're going from 6,800 meters to kilometers. Here we're at meters, and we're going to kilometers. Which direction is the decimal going to be moving, class? To the?
Left.
How many places?
3.
So here's your decimal right here. We're going to the left 3. 1, 2, 3. So 6,800 meters is the same as 6 8/10 kilometers. Let's do another one. We're at 54 meters. And we're going to millimeters. How many places in which direction?
3 to the right.
3 to the right. So if I'm at meters, 1, 2, 3. So 54 meters is equivalent to 54,000 millimeters. Okay, I'm going to pause the lesson. I'm going to ask you to complete E through J and come back and check E through J. So check your work to see if you can notice the changing of the units from converting one metric unit to another. Now, in number 2, we are to compare the metric units. Convert both units so that they are in the what class?
Same unit.
Same unit. So let's change them so that they are in A. Let's change them both to liters. Let's just do it in the unit. So if you don't know which to do, just choose the actual unit. So in A, we have liters. So we're going to change 1 4/10 kiloliters to liters. Do that now and compare to see if it's going to be less than, greater than, or equal to. If I have 1 4/10 kiloliters, I'm going to move my decimal how many places to the right?
3.
3. Good. 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be 1,400 liters because we changed that to liters. And it's going to be what class? Equal to. Great job. Let's change in B. Let's change them both to grams. 150 milligrams is how many grams? I'll move it how many to the left?
3.
1, 2, 3. Nicely done. So your answer is going to be greater than. Now, we can either change both of them to meters or just change one to centimeters and one to millimeters. What do y'all want to change them to? So they're both going to be centimeters. So let's just change millimeters to centimeters. And I'm going to move the decimal which direction? Left, 1 spot. So now I have 58 centimeters here. So 5 8/10 centimeters is less than 58 centimeters. Now we're going to change the kiloliters to liters. What would that be? Changing 59 thousandths kiloliters to liters. Yes.
Equal to.
So this one will be 59 liters. So it will be equal to. Now we're going to compare these units. And in doing so, we're going to convert them to the same unit. We're going to convert them to the same unit. So let's convert them all to the unit of meters. And then we're going to order them from least to greatest. But then your final answer needs to be in the original format. So it needs to be match up from going from least to greatest in the original format. So now we're going to convert each of these measurements to meters. So we do not have to change the first one. It's going to be 24 meters. Now we need to change 42 kilometers to meters. What is that going to be, class? We're moving the decimal to the right 3 places. So that would be 42,000 meters. Now we're going to go from millimeters to meters. So I'm going to move my decimal to the left 3 places. So that's going to be 42 hundredths meters. 240 centimeters, I'm changing that to meters. So I'm going to move the decimal place 2 places, 2.4 meters. And then if I'm moving 2 4/10 millimeters to meters, I'm going to move the decimal 3 places, 1, 2, 3. Now, from here, you're going to look at what's in red. We're going to go from least to greatest, but put it in the original format. So when you give me an answer, give me the original format. Which is the smallest meters? Yes, Georgie. I'm comparing these right here. What's the smallest of those right there? So in your answer, it would be 2.4 millimeters because we're putting it in the original format. So check those 2 off. Next, Mary Elizabeth.
420 millimeters.
420 millimeters because that is this one right here. Next,
240 centimeters.
240 centimeters. Good. And then our last one that we have left is the 42,000, which will be 42 kilometers. Again, we put them all in the same unit, compared that unit, but the answer is in the original form given. Now we're going to find the sum or difference, and we're going to write your answer using the smaller unit of measurement. So in A, we're going to convert them both. We're going to convert, make sure they're both in what unit class? Grams. And in B, we're going to make sure that they're all in what? Milliliters. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. For A, we're going to convert and make sure that they're both in grams, and we're going to add them. Now you have, on the kilograms, you move the decimal 3 places to the right, added 3,500 grams to 6,000 grams, and you get a total of 9,500 grams. So here I've converted kiloliters to milliliters. Move the decimal place 6 places, and now it's 3 million. Now I'm going to add 2,550 milliliters. Now I'm going to change 3,001 liters to milliliters, and I'm going to subtract it. So I'm going to take 3,001, move the decimal 3 places, and then I'll subtract. And my answer is 1,550 milliliters. Now in number 6, we're trying to find the perimeter of the rectangle in centimeters. Then find the area in square centimeters. So if I know that this side is 5 millimeters, what is this side going to be, class? 5 millimeters. If this side is 1 5/10 centimeters, what side is this going to be?
1 5/10 centimeters.
So you'll put that in your notes. But they're wanting the measurements to be in centimeters. So I'm going to need to change the 5 millimeters to centimeters. What is this going to change to in centimeters?
0.5.
Good. So if that's changing, and this one's going to change, and when we find the perimeter, we add all the sides up. So 0.5 plus 0.5 is 1. And 1 plus 3 is 4. So we get this. Here's our 3. So the perimeter, complete total answer, will be perimeter is equal to 4 centimeters. That is the complete answer I want to receive. Right? On area. How do you find the area, class? Good. So I'm going to be multiplying 5/10 times 1 and 5/10. So my area is 0.75 or 7,500 centimeters squared. On their successful ascent of Mount Everest in 1953, Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay climbed the south route. On this route, base camp was established at the elevation of 5 4/10 kilometers. Express 5 4/10 kilometers in meters. Class, what is 5 4/10 kilometers in meters? Megan? Good. And then our last word problem, in number 8, in 1979, Chef Franz Eichner made a submarine sandwich that was 322 5/10 meters long. Suppose the sandwich was cut into pieces that measured 25 8/10 centimeters. How many pieces would there be? So you're noticing that each of the pieces will be cut into 25 8/10 centimeters. And the question is asking how many pieces would there be? So our answer is going to be in centimeters because we're going to determine how many pieces there will be. So we're going to convert 322 5/10 meters to centimeters. In order to do that, we're going to move the decimal place 2 places. And if we're wanting to know how many pieces are in the sandwich, we're going to take that number, divide it by 25.8, move this decimal over 1, this decimal over 1, and divide. So as you'll notice, 258 divided into 32,250 is 1,250 pieces. Do not forget to add the 0 at the end to get the correct answer.